Hi, I'm Blake Schofield, founder and CEO of The Bridge to Fulfillment. Mom to 3, USA Today top 10 professional coach, and former corporate executive who got tired of sacrificing my life for a comfortable paycheck. My mission is to expand perspectives to achieve greater impact at home and work without sacrifice. This is The Bridge to Fulfillment. Sometimes it isn't about doing more, but it's about getting down to the basics of the things that really create the outcomes that you want. I was reminded of that today as I had the opportunity to interview several people for a new opportunity. And it was very clear through the two interactions that I had that one person had true understanding of the life and career they were trying to create and intentional action towards that. And the other didn't have that same degree of awareness, perspective, or actions to create the life they wanted. Building the career and life that you want requires intention. We can have great intentions, but if we don't have the processes or the systems or the consistency in place, the actions we take on a day-to-day basis actually end up getting us further from what we want, not closer. A program I went through several years ago, one of the concepts we would talk about is closer over more. Was this idea of, is this thing I'm considering doing going to get me closer to the life that I want? Or is it just more? Is it just more of all of these things that I hope will lead to something, but may not actually get me closer to what it is I want to accomplish? Our brains are actually wired to do more and believe that by doing more, we will get what we want. But that's just not really true. The people that create the careers, the lives, the relationships, the families that they want, they do so with intention. And so today I'm going to share a really simple question that you can ask yourself that will stop you in all of the day-to-day moments to make sure that the actions that you take get you closer to what you want and aren't just going to be more things. And it's this. Does this support the life I'm trying to create? So if a project or an opportunity comes your way, it's, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Stop and ask yourself, does this support the life I'm trying to create? And the answer will tell you what to do. Because the reality is, in order to build our lives and our careers with intention, we need to create space. Space to slow down, time to ask that question and truly get clarity for what we want. And then we have to choose. We have to prioritize. The second candidate I talked to today, she talked about that this year was her year to learn to say no. That often there were so many opportunities that came her way and she was saying yes to them all. But ultimately, she'd realized that was taking her away from being able to use her time, her energy, her impact in a way that she really wanted to. And I think that that's so common for us to say yes to it all, for us to believe that that next thing either we should do or would be good for us or we don't want to pass up on it. But a life like that often leads to burnout. It leads to being spread in so many different directions. It leads to not having time for the things that you really want. And ultimately, it leads to challenges because you aren't truly allowing yourself the space, the time, the clarity, and the prioritizing of what really matters to create truly the future and the trajectory that you want. So my challenge for you this week, start implementing this. Maybe even write it down on a piece of paper and stick it on a Post-it note. Maybe stick it on the wallpaper of your phone. And start developing the muscle and habit to ask yourself as new opportunities or new things show up, does this support the life I'm trying to create? It's in the very small things that we do on a day-to-day basis that we continuously take action on that create the amazing forward momentum for the lives and careers that we desire. As always, thank you so much for joining me on the Bridge to Fulfillment. I hope you have an amazing week ahead.